Hello, and welcome back to another edition of All or Not According to Jack with your host, Jack Toledano. As you can see, I am on the football field, on the gridiron, as it were. Uh, we are going to talk about happenings in the NFL for the month of January. And yes, I am wearing my prized, beloved Lawrence Taylor LT jersey. It's from Super Bowl 25. The first time the Giants made it to the Super Bowl. Uh, yeah, this is a prize jersey. So the story behind this is so some years back we lost a brother, a large brother, to kidney cancer. Very sad occurrence. He was in his late 30s. Rest in peace, brother Vin. Um, we had a celebration of life for Brother Vin. We had a kidney cancer fundraiser where it was amazing. We raised over 35K for this event. It was the most amazing thing we ever did, I think. But within that night, that fundraiser, uh, my brother Mark secured a whole bunch of jerseys that we could give away in a silent auction. So there was a Mickey Mantle jersey, Yankee jersey. There was a Mike Piazza Met jersey. There was a Joe Namath Jets jersey, and there was the Lawrence Taylor jersey. So now I never freaking win anything. I never win. Uh, this was a Chinese auction. I stuck a bunch of those little tickets into the paper bag, and lo and behold, my name gets called, and I won this beautiful jersey that I wear with pride. Now I have another giant jersey that was gifted to me a couple Christmases ago by my future brother, my future son-in-law, George Parsakian. So uh, it was a Saquon Barkley jersey, a Giants Saquon Barkley jersey. Now I will never get rid of that jersey, but I tend to not wear it as much. Uh, so here's the difference. Lawrence Taylor helped us win 2 Super Bowls, never jumped ship to a hated enemy like Saquon Barkley did. Now, it can be said that the Giants were a little stingy and they could have offered him more money, offered him the money that they offered that jagoff Daniel Jones, who they ended up being a bad separation quarterback who just simply didn't get the job done. They decide and they there was this really bad clause in his contract that if he were to get hurt uh, on X date of the season, they would have to pay him his full 2025 salary. So basically, they decided they were going to save face and they were going to bench him for the rest of the year. He asked for his release and yada, yada, yada. He's now the backup for the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, the Giants, a lot of people are pissed off because they could have offered Saquon Barkley the money, but you want to know something? Very tough decision because he's been injured a few times, and you know what? He didn't have the right offensive line opening holes for him on the Giants, whereas this year he was fantastic. He got the Eagles back to a Super Bowl, but I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So let's go to the playoff grid. I'm going to share. Uh, let's share. Come on. All right, where is it? Ah, there we go. Beautiful. Okay, uh, so now that they now have 7 teams in the playoffs for each conference. So a total of 14 teams make it, which makes for a very nice wild card weekend because now you have 6 games. Uh, I once earlier in January, I made the statement to some coworkers of mine that the only thing I like about January is playoff football. And like every other year, it was very enjoyable. So you had Houston Texans, surprisingly knocking off the Los Angeles Chargers. The Ravens knocking off the Pittsburgh Steelers, not surprised there. Buffalo Bills knocked off the Denver Broncos, so they moved to the second week, the divisional week. Uh, Kansas City Chiefs had the bye. They held on and beat the Houston Texans, who accused them of being in the pockets of the referees or vice versa. That would be that would be an ongoing saga and theme. We'll talk about that more. Meanwhile, the other divisional final, it was the Bills who held on and beat the Ravens 27-25 on a failed 2-point conversion at the end of the game. Wow. So this past Sunday, Chiefs beat the Bills 32-29. Very close game, but of course, you know, your pundits are going to sit there and complain that, the referees were on the side of the Chiefs. Certain things got called in favor of the Chiefs that didn't get called in favor of the Bills. I mean, I saw a bunch of things that got called against the Chiefs. So, as much as I wanted the Bills to win, and part of the reason I wore this jersey because the Bills have a similar home jersey, but you know what? They had their chances to win and they didn't get it done. They had their chances on that last drive to drive down and tie the game, but they didn't get it done. So kudos to the Chiefs. Over on the other side, and this is very sad. So the Detroit Lions, who I was pinning my hopes on, had that number 1 seed bye. Rams beat the Vikings uh, in the wild card round. The Commanders beat the Buccaneers 23-20, the only upset road win so far in wild card week. Eagles beat the Packers 22-10. Week 2, big shocker. The Commanders. They were the only team to win on the road. So they continue that by going into Detroit. Detroit 15-2 in the regular season. Knocked them off 45-31. What a shocker. I really wanted the Lions to go to the Super Bowl. That I think would have made for a fun Super Bowl. Lions against the Chiefs, or Lions against the Bills, but it wasn't meant to be. Lions, you know what? Football, it's like a college course. You can do very well during that season, which is the bulk of the semester, but then you got to take that final exam. And Lions just can't seem to get it done during that final exam. Chiefs had that problem several years ago, but now every year they're getting back to the big dance. So Commanders upset the Lions 45-31 on the strength of Lions 4 turnovers. Eagles beat the Rams 28-22. Good game, but Eagles prevailed. So conference final, the 3 o'clock game, Eagles 55, Commanders 23. So this game for me had a lot of parallels to the 2007 playoffs of the Giants. So the Giants were a number 5 seed, and they beat the Buccaneers in week 1 in the wild card. So then in week 2, much like the Eagles faced the Commanders, NFC East rivals, it was the Giants against the Cowboys, NFC East rivals, and it was the Giants with the huge upset over the Cowboys to move forward to the conference championship. Only difference, Commanders didn't get it done in the conference championship, whereas the Eagles did, beating those Green Bay Packers. Okay, so now we have the Super Bowl on February 9th. Kansas City Chiefs against the Philadelphia Eagles. Kansas City, 1.5 point favorites. Also, they don't say this, but the over-under is 49.5. I would take that over-under. I would take the over, because that is not going to be a low-scoring game. And for those of you who don't know, basically what an over-under is, it's the combined scores of both teams. So if you bet the over, that means both teams combined have to score 50 or more points in order for you to win that bet. So take that bet. Stopping sharing. So, yeah, so the more I read shit on Facebook during the week, a lot of people out there with sour grapes still complaining that the Kansas City Chiefs have the refs in their pockets, and that, you know what, that they always win, and that they weren't good enough to be 15-2, and they weren't good enough to get all the way to the conference championship and win it, or weren't good enough to get all the way to the Super Bowl. But you know what? That was the same thing with the New England Patriots years ago. But nobody complained because, hello, my Giants beat them twice, and the Philadelphia Eagles beat them once in the moment of truth. It's just these Kansas City Chiefs never lose. But you want to know something? All I can say to the other teams and the other fans, do better. Uh, Giants went 3-14 this year. I'm not faulting the referees. I'm faulting the head of the organization, John Mara, and the clown they have for a general manager. I mean, couldn't draft a better team, couldn't get better talent. I mean, this team was seriously devoid of talent this year. Disgusting. It's like they they could have easily went 1-16. They could have easily won. They won 3. They could have won 6 or 7 games. You know what? They just couldn't get it done at the moment of truth. I don't know what else I can say. Uh, it's like these. Basically, what I tell fans is, you hate it so much, stop buying the season tickets. Sell your goddamn season tickets. I was offered Giant season tickets many years ago when they opened MetLife Stadium. And all I did was I took one look at those PSLs, personal seat licenses. I said, no, thank you. I'll pass. Never look back. I'll go to a game once in a blue moon, even though I have to deal with that awful Meadowlands traffic, but I will never get a season package at Giant Stadium. Too damn expensive. And I had kids starting college at about that time, so good decision. So that is my spiel. As for this Super Bowl coming up, you know what? I'm not excited. You know, Chiefs have been there too many times. Didn't want to see them. Wanted to see the Buffalo Bills. Uh, being a Giants fan, I fucking hate the Philadelphia Eagles. So I didn't want to see them. I didn't want to see Saquon Barkley succeed. Ugh, sickening. Sickening indeed. I'll actually be in Florida at the time of the Super Bowl, but I'm sure I'll watch with my father in some capacity. We'll probably go to his lodge and watch for a little while. But you know what? Sorry, not excited. Not as exciting as it was watching the Mets get to the postseason and beat those goddamn Philadelphia Phillies. So take that, Philly. Anyway, Much as I'm not excited, good luck to the combatants, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. I hope it's a good game. We'll see. I'm just getting tired of seeing the same matchups. This is Jack Toledano. Speaking for all or not, according to Jack, what are your thoughts? Who do you want to win? Who do you think is going to win? I'm not going to take a guess at this time. Bye.